Hey BBT community, I just wanted to make this video because something happened to me today that I think happens to a lot of people sometimes when they're day trading, especially new day traders. And I'm relatively new. I've been doing it on and off for a little bit over a year. Now I'm doing it full time since the start of the year, basically since December actually, and just joined the community back in March. And I wanted to make this video because something happened early in the day where I got kind of discouraged over a trade that ended up being not a loss. I made some money on it, but it ended up being a missed opportunity, and that was with Delta Airlines. So this one was in the pre-market scan and from the morning, and I took a trade on it, and I'll go to the 1 minute chart to show what I did. So early in the day, uh, you can see I got in here short once it was below VWAP. After the first minute, I got in as it sort of tested VWAP, came back down, and I said, okay, I'm going to get in at what did I get in at? 1866. And it started moving down. I took a little bit of profit here at 1843, but then it regressed back to VWAP. And I just got out the remaining shares below my break or above my break even. I still made a profit overall because I took most of my shares out here. I think I took about 2/3 here and I had about 1/3 here. So I still made a tiny bit of profit, but you can see what happened after that. I sort of pivoted off of my exit, and then it went down over $1 from my entry. And I missed this entire thing just because of this pullback. Now, when it happened immediately, I said, oh, the market's out to get me. And it's something that goes through, I think, a lot of traders' minds when they first start out trading, is that how, this kind of just almost seems purposeful. Like, how did this happen? And really, when looking back on it with a clear view, you know that it happened because I wasn't patient enough. You can see it never actually closed above VWAP. It just sort of poked through it and then bounced back off it and went down. A more experienced trader, a lot of the moderators obviously would have seen this as an opportunity to add in or possibly just get back in if you exited all your shares earlier. That's something I'm trying to learn, but mainly why I wanted to make this video is because something like this kind of can almost cloud your view for the rest of the day. And for me, after this, I was just angry because I made such a small profit compared to what I could have made that I almost said I'm going to be done for the morning. I don't want to trade anymore. And really the right move was to look at this and say, hey, can I get back in and possibly ride this down if it continues down? I didn't do that, but I also didn't stop trading. I said, all right, let me just see what else is out there. And luckily, because the SPY has been bouncing the last, well, basically since almost the open, right after that initial drop, everything has been moving up. And I just found a little trade in a no gap list. I have this no gap scan that I put together with everything gapping lately because of the whole pandemic. Every morning our gappers list in the chat is just so full for the most part that we kind of miss out sometimes on the ones that aren't gapping, which is something I kind of look for. So this scan actually turned me on to IGT, which I kind of like the way it was moving. You can see my trade here. I got in because it had nothing in the pre-market, which is exactly why it showed up in my no gap list. But it had some smooth movement, not a lot of wicks, and the movements were pretty predictable. It was going down in a nice smooth pattern, and then it turned around when the market turned around, got back above VWAP, and you can see it kind of held it here. It had this little indecision doji. Let me open this up. Right above VWAP. And once it started pulling away from VWAP, I got in at 587. Now, I initially thought I was still a little jaded from that early trade, missing out on a big trade with Delta, that thought I was just going to scalp. So I took a little bit more shares, and I thought, I'll just get in and out really quickly to make up for it, which is the wrong mentality. Every trade should be a trade in and of itself. You should not be letting the trade that you took before affect the next one. And so I sort of steeled myself a little bit and said, all right, maybe I won't scalp right out, because I could have just gotten like a 10-cent move out of it and been done. But I scaled out a little bit here at 599, and that was before my 2R. I just wanted to take a little bit of profit, and then I moved my stop up to my break even. Then it continued up. It broke this 200 moving average on this 1 minute chart. And once it broke that, I took another third out. Basically took a third out here, another third here. And but then it just kept moving up because the SPY has just been going nuts right now. So I held on. Once I knew I was only going to take out the last third, I wasn't going to split that up anymore. I just held on and said, let's see how far this can go. It broke the close of the previous day and finally got up to a point where I said, you know what, this is where I'm going to take everything out. And that was about 62 cents above my entry. So at 640, I think I got everything else out. You can see it still moved up after that. A lot of things are moving up. With the way the market has been, I just couldn't guarantee that that was going to happen, and it just seemed extended to me at this point. So I got out. So right now it's at 651. It could continue up, but I'm happy that I at least held on to my shares. I didn't scalp out right away, and also that I didn't walk away from trading because of that missed opportunity in Delta. I think we often talk about over trading, and definitely if you're having loss after loss and you're just not in the right mindset, you should always walk away and just give yourself a breather, take a walk, take some time away from trading just to kind of clear your head. But there's also the flip side of that, which is sometimes you can get discouraged by a bad trade and then not trade the rest of the day, and you could miss out on something really good. And this was one of those times where I almost did that. I almost just walked away just because I didn't get a good trade on Delta, or I didn't make the most of that Delta trade. So hope everybody had a good morning so far. I just want to make this, I know if this has happened to you before, you're not alone. With Delta, I've often done this. This isn't the first time this has happened to me, which is why I wanted to make this video. Just stick with your plan. And if this happens, you don't need to walk away as long as you're not over trading. Just don't let it affect the rest of your trades. So good luck, and hopefully see you next time with another video.